and the musing sapphire level of the sky.
Behind this building, I think there is something which is invisible, something which had happened long before things have happened here. It is that thing which kind of got precipitated in this form here. It happened. In other words, perhaps there was already some sort of an occult plan that things had to happen in this particular place. When my friend acquired this piece of land years ago, he just acquired it. He did not know what he is going to do with that. It could have been a simple business proposition, it could have been just there like that and all that. He didn't have any idea at all at that time. But I believe that somebody was already working from behind the scene and preparing the necessary base, necessary ground, necessary aspects related with these developments, and it happened. We were rather interested in getting deeper and deeper into Shabindu's epic Savitri, which is a multidimensional epic, not only spiritual, not only academic, not only literary, but also historical, also practical, also social, also seeing the problems of this creation in the most fundamental way. And we wonder whether those aspects can be looked into in some details, and whether we can live, whether we can grow, whether we can expand ourselves inwardly as well as outwardly in the spirit of Savitri itself. So that is the thing which is kind of driving us at the moment. And one of the immediate purposes was to start a Savitri related center or activity, basically connected with the web features, because it has an immediate international audience. At the same time, not just an audience, international interaction, inputs coming from various sources, not only from generating here, but also things coming into this one. That two-way possibility is openly present only on the website at this stage. You may have a structure, you may have a house, but still that interaction may not be there always. So our main focus in the beginning was to initiate web-based activities related to Savitri, and have forum, have discussions, have conferences, have lecture series, have talks describing the various aspects of Savitri, and expound that thing in a very general way. Well, we have begun, and I think with that beginning, division also begins to grow. It is not that it is something which is planted, which is built up in the kind of a factory plan. It is a sort of an organic growth of the whole thing. So as we grow, things also grow around it. It has to be basically an organic growth, not a synthetic growth at all, you see. Now, in terms of organic growth, I would say that there are perhaps 4 or 5 types of immediate activities which we can think of related with Savitri projects. So I will say that there should be one particular place here where the Savitri Pita, Savitri Yajna, Savitri inner growth center can come up. It can have Yajna Shala, Savitri Shala. There can be continuous ahuti like thing going on. Persons can chant Savitri, person can meditate on Savitri, person can read Savitri, person can write Savitri, person can give short discourses on Savitri. So these are some of the aspects which had to grow here as a center for our inner and spiritual growth. So there should be a corner, there should be a place, there should be a location here where this Savitri Yajna is constantly going on. I will give an example, the power of Yajna. See, when Savitri was following Yama to claim her husband back from him, she was seeing a sort of a deadlock. Yama himself was a deadlock, and she was not able to make any progress. She was not able to make any progress at all to claim back her husband's soul back from Yama. So what she does is very significant. She enters into the house of spirit which is there in her soul. The house of the spirit which is there in her soul. She enters into that, and what does she do? She there. She sees that a constant yajna is going on. Constant fire is being kindled into which you keep on putting ahutis all the while. And when that yajna is kindled fully, then the power which rises from that, it is that power which comes forward, comes out, and it is with that power then Savitri is able to conquer death, win victory over him, and claim back the soul of her husband. What I am trying to say is basically there is a power of yajna, and it is that which should be established. The second feature, in my view, is of a slightly different type, and it could be, one might say, more along the academic lines, where you study Savitri, you compare Savitri with other literature, you see its philosophy, you see its literature, you see its poetry, you see its spirituality, its civilizational aspects which are present in Savitri. What is Greek philosophy, what is Indian philosophy, what is what shall I say, even Greek drama, how much is present in Savitri. All these things are present in Savitri, and it is those which have to really study. They are not there for nothing. They have a certain meaning, they have certain fulfillment, and we have to really study those things properly also. So there is a certain type of an academic angle in approaching Savitri, and therefore we must have here a very powerful academic center for studying and looking into different aspects of Savitri, civilizational, historical, scientific. All those aspects have to be studied and expounded, because it is there that you will really see the possibilities of our future activities also. For instance, Savitri, Shabandhu Savitri presents certain features about what is matter, what is life, what is mind. The psychologist should know those things. The materialist should understand those things. When they are pursuing certain research projects in, say for instance, physics, they should really know what is the reality of matter, what is it that lies behind matter. They have to understand that thing. Then only they can really do something of importance in their own field. I will give a small example. We say that you bring hydrogen and oxygen, bring them together and you get water. That is what science will tell you. Very fine. But science does not tell me, is not in a position to tell me how the properties of hydrogen, the properties of oxygen come together here in a way and produce a third property. Water has neither the properties of oxygen nor of hydrogen. It has its own property. Where from have those properties come? The third point, which I might say is of another feature in man's dimensions, This is one dimension, soul deep within, where Savitri's soul is there. This is another dimension here. The third dimension is the creativity of man, where he expresses something of his spirit, something of his soul. It can be art, it can be music, it can be choreography, it can be multimedia presentation. All these things are open to sculpturing. You produce those sort of a thing, and you will see that new and new dimensions of the creative art will emerge from that, and Savitri is full of those things. Everything is there from that angle in Savitri. So if you are really able to look into that thing, and if we can inspire, if people can get inspired by these things, I would say the purpose is served. So the multimedia dimension is one of the aspects which should be really promoted in a place like this. So you have got one spiritual, you have got academic, one you have got cultural or creative or whatever you want to call it. Then the fourth point, which I might say is something of a slightly different type. For instance, beyond creativity, there has to be some sort of a recreational activity also, where you draw different people in a different manner and develop them. You have here gardens, you have got something like a Disneyland based on Savitri. Every tree, every flower, every river which is mentioned in Savitri, they should start flowing here, they should start coming up here. There should be a mountain, there should be all those trees there, and everything should be here. So you have gardening, you have got all those opportunities which can be really expounded in a very big way. Just live here. We are not telling them, go and read Savitri, not at all. Just let them breathe the whole atmosphere, and the purpose is served.
That hour had fallen now on